Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I have two stories to share with you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam, including this one from the Crypto Basic. Ripple on the verge of buying back $1.4 billion in stock as IPO looms. Brad Garlinghouse. There's also this one. Expert says Ripple selling XRP does not affect XRP price. Now, that one is an interesting topic. That is a strong point of contention within the XRP community, and I am going to opine on the matter because I am correct, damn it, and I will explain why. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. You know what? Let's go ahead and jump into this one first. I'm kind of eager to talk about this. I was going to cover this one second in the video, but let's just go ahead and jump into this. I don't really need to read the article. They were covering perspective from my fellow XRP YouTuber Mikkel, speaking on the matter, and I will just tell you this. I broadly agree with what he's saying here, but I want to parse this out a little bit. There's important nuance to this that I want to add. So I don't 100% agree, but frankly, not far off. And in fact, after parsing this out, I wouldn't be surprised if given the extra details I'm about to share with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he would agree with that. He just happened to not mention certain things in this thread, but it's a good thread, and I do agree, broadly speaking, with what he wrote here. And I think really, if you look at the price action that's been occurring with XRP, it squashes the idea that XRP is like the reason it hasn't hit a new all-time high, or it is where it is. It's all because of Ripple. It's just bogus nonsense. And you know what? The same crap was said about the price being suppressed by Jed McCaleb, one of the co-founders of Ripple and co-creator of XRP and the XRP ledger. He had a metric F-word ton of XRP, like literally billions of XRP, and he was selling and selling and selling over a span of years. And then when he quit selling, nothing, because he ran out, nothing changed after he was out of XRP. Literally nothing changed. And I'll explain why, but because it's the same thing with Ripple. So check this out. Here's what Mikkel wrote. There's a common misconception that Ripple's periodic sales of XRP have a significant negative impact on the price of XRP. Let's break down why this isn't the case. Ripple's XRP sales are conducted in a controlled manner, ensuring they do not flood the market. The sales are a small percentage of the total XRP volume traded daily, minimizing any potential impact. Okay, and so folks, that is factually correct. That is indisputable, actual fact. That is the case. Ripple's, total sales, it's like a fraction of a percent. It's like typically less than 0.5% of global volume. It's like nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. So that's not something that in any given moment is going to materially impact in any sort of detectable way the price action of XRP. Now consider that XRP is still being sold by Ripple, and we saw within the last couple weeks XRP jump in price from 38 cents to about close to 64 cents. That's a 67% price rise. How is that possible? How is that possible given that Ripple didn't change their behavior? They're still selling XRP. Why did XRP go up? It's because demand increased. As I've been screaming for years to anybody that will listen. So thank you out there for listening. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate all the support. It is a matter of fact that the problem is not the increase in circulating supply from Ripple selling XRP. The problem, if you want to call it a problem, is that there hasn't been sufficient demand for XRP. That side of the equation is way more important. You could literally double the circulating supply of XRP, but if you're going to have like 20 times more, 50 times more, whatever multiple you want, more people jumping in and investing crazy amounts of money, who cares? You're talking about a twofold, even close to a twofold increase in supply, which would happen and unfold ultimately with Ripple selling the rest of its XRP over a span of presumably decades. That happening is the roughly twofold increase. Is that so negative that a 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever the multiplier would be on the demand side increase? Are you telling me that the twofold increase in circulating supply is going to dwarf any actual impact that would come from an increase in demand that's a way greater multiplier? That doesn't make any freaking sense. So it's bogus nonsense. But anyway, let me continue with what Mikkel says here. The XRP market is vast and liquid, with billions of XRP traded across multiple exchanges worldwide. Ripple sales are a drop in the ocean compared to the overall trading volume. Ripple sales often go to institutional investors or are used for strategic partnerships and ecosystem growth. This can lead to long-term positive effects on XRP adoption and utility, outweighing any short-term price movements. Okay, let's pause and note. He's absolutely nailing it here. This is a great thread. He's right. He's absolutely correct. And it is indeed the case. So yes, Ripple, by the way, they have sold XRP, but they've also spent, I don't know what the figures off the top of my head because I can't recall that's been used, but like they put in like hundreds of millions of dollars back into crypto and the XRP ecosystem. They have done that. It's not like it's just all going to, they're not like Scrooge McDuck and they got a bunch of gold coins that they turn the XRP into gold coins and they go swimming through it. No, that is definitely not what's happening here. They reinvested it, and also fair enough to point out, yeah, they also have a rather large war chest, and the balance sheet's looking pretty damn good for them. So there is that as well, certainly, of course. But they also used a huge chunk of those funds to fight the SEC on our behalf, and the XRP community fought back, and John Deaton led the charge also in that regard. But point being, there's lots of other good stuff happening. It's great for the entire, XRP ecosystem, but in many cases, even just for crypto broadly speaking here. But if you're looking at what's happening here, like Ripple has been such a force for good for the XRP ecosystem that it's expanding adoption, and there are more people and developers in XRP now than there would otherwise be if not for Ripple. And it's hard to overstate the importance of that especially over a longer period of time. And in terms of long-term viability, that's crucial. That's of critical importance. So you'll love to see that, don't you? And so that's a great point that Mikkel's making. And I've talked about this stuff before too. But he's correct, and he worded it pretty damn succinctly. And he said also, he continues here, he says, historical data shows that XRP's price movements are more correlated with broader cryptocurrency market trends and Bitcoin's price rather than Ripple's sales activities. It's important to consider the overall health and adoption of the XRP ledger and the various use cases being developed. Ripple's efforts often contribute to strengthening the ecosystem, which can positively influence XRP's value. In conclusion, while it's easy to point fingers at Ripple's XRP sales, the reality is that they have a minimal impact on XRP's price. Focusing on broader market trends and ecosystem growth gives a clearer picture of XRP's potential. Okay, yeah, so that's the part where I really want to parse it out a little bit further. And this isn't even to like broadly disagree with Mikkel or anything. I just want to point out something really important here. So he says, because he said here again, easy to point fingers at Ripple about their XRP sales. He says the reality is that they have a minimal impact on XRP's market price. Okay, couple things to note here. If you're talking about the amount of XRP that presumably Ripple is going to sell over a span of decades, you are talking about close to a twofold increase in circulating supply, perhaps over a span of a few decades. That absolutely will have an impact on the price of XRP. And he didn't mention that, which is why I'm just expanding additional thoughts here. But is that really what people are talking about when they say dumping on the market? No. Which is why I think, that's why I say, broadly speaking, Mikkel's absolutely correct. Because when people are talking about, Ripple dumping on the market, they're saying the reason XRP today isn't running right this very second is because Ripple's dumping on all of us plebs, right? Of us plebes, right? The plebeians. That you see that all the time, right? But that's nonsense because, again, from month to month, it's such a small percentage that from a month-to-month basis, you're not going to see a change in XRP price. Now, if you zoom out over a span of decades, and there's that increase in circulating supply, sure. And I've acknowledged that for years. But what I insist, and Mikkel is right about this. What I insist is true is the case that the selling from month to month, it doesn't, you can't measure it even. It's so small you can't even see it. And this is why I don't care that Ripple's doing what they're doing. Let them make their damn profit. I don't care. It's their property. If they want to sell it, they can sell it anyway. We still have our opportunity to make life-changing wealth in XRP. So what the hell? If they make a metric F-word ton of money, cool, go for it. I don't care. But it certainly is the case that, what matters the most again here is the increase. So the demand rather. That's what matters more than way more than the supply. And there's all sorts of other cryptocurrencies out there that have a much greater increase in circulating supply. The rate's much higher than XRP's, and they've gone on crazy runs. And that proves, it's another thing that proves it does not matter. And think about this. There's new Bitcoin being created. Like, do we just say, hey, you greedy bitch-ass miners here, you're just dumping on all the people out there. What are you talking about? No. Nobody does that with Bitcoin, but they want to do it with Ripple. And I know it's different in that Ripple's not creating, but so what? We're not talking about creation. We're not really. The topic is an increase in circulating supply. That's the topic. Miners result in an increase in circulating supply. Ripple selling results in an increase in circulating supply. So, who gives a damn? It does not matter. It clearly does not matter. And so I think Mikkel pretty much knocked it out of the park here. I just wanted to add a couple points here, which is that, again, it's not literally true that Ripple's Ripple's sales won't have an impact. It doesn't matter for us here right now. In the short term, it's so little, it just doesn't matter. I've been saying the same thing for years to anybody who will listen. I am correct about this, for sure. I don't speak in absolutes generally. I am absolutely certain that what I am saying is true. 100% certain that I'm absolutely correct on this. So you guys tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, go ahead. Just know that you're actually wrong. But no, go ahead and tell me if you actually think you caught me in something. Go ahead and drop a comment below. But there is also this, and so like I don't think that my perspective is that popular necessarily. I mean, it's kind of popular, but there's this post from Good Morning Crypto, and he had a poll out. He said, "Vote here. Are the XRP sales by Ripple contributing to the price suppression of XRP?" And 67.7% said yes, dumping hurts price. 32.3% said nope, no tangible impact. And so the thing is, I'm wondering what most people are thinking when they respond to that, because technically, you say it hurts price. Well, okay, technically that's true, but it's so freaking small. Like, I could sell one XRP, that's negative price action. Like, that would contribute to hurting the price of X. If I sell one XRP, that's technically true. Do we give a damn? Could you detect that on a global scale? No. So when people are voting, what are they actually thinking about? I'm supposing that perhaps what most people are thinking about is what's actually happened with XRP price action now. Is Ripple selling, is that the reason that we see XRP price where it is today, lower than what we want? I would say no to that, but that's not what the poll says. If I read it by the letter here, I'd have to say, yes, dumping hurts price, because even one XRP, that's negative price action. I'd be forced to, just by logic, to state that. But if you're saying, is Ripple doing something and that's the reason that we just can't cut above? No, that's not true. Which is, again, evidenced by the fact that XRP just jumped by 67% in price. And Ripple was still selling back in 2017 when XRP went from half a penny to almost $4. Ripple was selling the whole time. So what changed? Demand increased. Duh! Unquestionably, that's the case. So if you go by the letter here, the people that said, yes, dumping hurts, they're technically correct. But the people that wrote, nope, no tangible impact, if they're thinking, well, really, come on. And if they recognize all the things I'm saying, well, that's true too. And I'm wondering what most people are thinking. So if you ask it in a different way, who knows? Maybe you get a little bit of a different response, but So anyway, that's why I wanted to parse that out a little bit. But on to the next topic now. Ripple on the verge of buying back $1.4 billion in stock as IPO looms, Brad Garlinghouse. And this is fascinating stuff here. And you'll see by the end of this video that, let's just say Ripple's very confident that what they're doing is going to continue to work. And don't forget that XRP absolutely is still at the core of their entire business model. It absolutely is. They are 100% banking on XRP being a thing that sustains and has long-term viability. Reads as follows. The Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, says Ripple is on the verge of buying back up to $1.4 billion in its own stock from investors as IPO looms. I disagree with that IPO part, but anyway, and they actually even, in the article, they even cite it later, you'll see, but anyway. Garlinghouse disclosed this while recently speaking at the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Conference in Utah. The Ripple CEO discussed several issues surrounding his firm and the broader crypto industry. These discussions centered on regulatory effects such as MiCA, the SEC lawsuit, Ripple's IPO plans, and other issues. Garlinghouse first emphasized the regulatory setback triggered by the SEC's lawsuit, which has lingered since December 2020. Seeking confirmation, Fortune magazine's presenter Andrew Nuska implied that the current legal and regulatory pressure over Ripple is behind the delays around the company's plans to go public. In response, the Ripple CEO confirmed this. Recall that Garlinghouse has stressed in previous interviews that the company is not looking to go public yet. 6 months ago, the Crypto Basic reported on a $285 million buyback of Ripple stock. However, Garlinghouse told Reuters that the buyback does not translate to an imminent IPO plan. And I'll pause to note here, and this is interesting. You may recall that it may have been like March or April of last year. We had news breaking that Ripple was going on a road show, and it had to do with generating interest in an IPO. And so after going on their road show, they got enough feedback to know, okay, this isn't going to work. And even, frankly, even after XRP got legal clarity, since the case was ongoing, there was no appetite from people that could have thrown massive amounts of money into Ripple. There was no appetite to do that at the time, and I talked about that then. But I had heard through the grapevine people in the know that actually know Brad Garlinghouse, who had said, yeah, if you're talking about what their stance was in maybe the first several months or so in 2023, they thought that they would be going public by the end of last year. But then they went on the roadshow, got feedback that they weren't expecting, which I'm surprised they were expecting something different, to be honest with you. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, this obviously isn't the time. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. They're going to go public at some point. I firmly believe that. It's just that they found out because they were still in the lawsuit, it just wasn't going to happen then. That's all that was. Not a huge deal, not the end of the world. But that's what happened, right? Anyway, peace continues. Speaking in Nuska, during the Fortune Tech Conference, the Ripple CEO remarked, quote, "We have publicly said that we don't have any imminent plans to try and go public. I mean, why would you? You have in the current SEC, I'm not very popular inside the walls of the SEC," end quote. Yeah, that's to put it mildly. That's definitely to put it mildly. However, he emphasized that the lingering lawsuit does not border on XRP's regulatory stand. According to Garlinghouse, XRP received clarity when Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that it is not a security last July. He noted that only XRP and Bitcoin have this level of clarity in the United States. And folks, I gotta say, I still don't know why anyone says that. I respectfully disagree with Brad Garlinghouse. Bitcoin does not have legal clarity. Now, I don't think it's going to get attacked. I think there's about a 0% chance of that. But it's not been declared anything. You point me to where it has legal clarity. I can do that with XRP, but Bitcoin? No, I cannot. It's still possible, though highly improbable, that, the SEC could go after miners. You make claims of an investment contract. You could. They absolutely could. But I'm surprised when people like Brad Garlinghouse say this. I don't know why, and I haven't heard an articulation of why anyone thinks Bitcoin has legal clarity when very plainly it just does not. So, no, I still think if his stance is broadly, hey, there's an ETF, all these reasons, and so like if you're saying it's unlikely, it's unlikely. I'm just saying it's not literally true that it has clarity. It's not literally true. Okay, that's the only point that I make. So that's me parsing that part out. But anyway, Peace continues. Meanwhile, Garlinghouse stressed that in terms of liquidity, he does not see going public as Ripple's ultimate goal. Instead, he views it as a step toward the ultimate goal. Interestingly, Ripple has continued to buy back its shares from investors despite not planning to go public soon. The CEO revealed that the company has been carrying out several tender offers to repurchase these shares from employees and investors. According to him, they are currently undergoing a 10-year offer, which, when completed, will lead to a total buyback of $1.4 billion in stock. And so, folks, that's where I'm saying the boldness comes in right there. To buy, they have all the confidence in the world that the company's going to be worth way, way, way more. And it's setting up pretty for when there finally is an IPO, ultimately. But here's this quote. "We have done a series of tender offers where we've been buying shares back from investors and employees. Now we're in the middle of another tender offer. After we finish this, we have repurchased $1.4 billion in stock from shareholders," end quote. And again, I'll repeat it, XRP's at the core of everything. So, it just is. It just is. That's always, they're doing all sorts of stuff here, and obviously they're going to be launching a stablecoin. I get it. But even Ripple's, or XRP's rather, intertwined with the Ripple stablecoin, because XRP is required for it to exist on the XRP ledger anyway, right? So it's all good stuff. It's all very positive stuff. Everything that I'm highlighting, this is incredible for long-term viability of XRP. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.